So we are doing progressive muscle activation, and then we're going to be doing some classical Pilates moves, but adapted for us. Okay, so it's quite a fun class with lots of different things going on. All right, are you cold too? Yeah, Stanley's cold too. Okay. So feel free to lie down if you're comfortable lying down, or you could sit up if you prefer. We're going to get ourselves settled using our breath. It's like Stanley's joined the class, isn't it? He's like, what's next?
By the way, I have a new cat, and he's hiding under the bed. He's called Alan. So he
Oh,
might make an appearance at some point. So hopefully he's not too disruptive if he does.
we'll look out for him. So get yourself comfy. Veronica, you made it. Well done. It's a really noisy toy. Okay, you can play outside. Go on, get it. Good boy. I'm really cruel, aren't I? Locking him out. Okay, so getting settled with your breath. And we're just going to start trying to breathe in and out through the nose wherever possible, okay? So if you're blocked in the nose, it's fine to breathe through your mouth. But see if you're able to allow the breath in and out. Let's start settling you down, getting your mind and body ready for some exercise. And then the next time you exhale, I'd like you to introduce an ah or a sigh. If you feel comfortable, feel free to make it audible, or if you're shy, you could go like that instead, or you could mute yourselves if you prefer. Okay, so we're going to breathe in together and then go ah. So it's not quite a lion's breath, which we've done together before. It's more just a letting go of everything. So breathing in. Gorgeous. And again, breathing in. Let's do one more. Do it, be as loud as you like. Breathing in and out. That was amazing. And then notice if you're feeling any buzzing anywhere. So you might notice you might feel a bit of buzzing in your nostrils or your teeth. Sometimes people feel it in their teeth or their lips or their fingertips. And notice how just breathing deeply can energize your body, but also soothe it at the same time. So it's a great way to just release tension. So now we're going to bring our arms quite close to our sides, whether you're sitting up or down. So just let them rest either side. So they're trying to touch the outside of your rib cage or your side boobs if you're lucky enough to have side boobs. That's it. And lying down, you might have more side boobs, which is even better. So I'm going to lie down so I can connect with mine. There we go. And I'd like you to imagine the rib cage now is going to press into the inside of your arms as you breathe in. So you're really expanding the rib cage into your arms. And then releasing. That's it. Some people even just like to put their hands there instead, but I find putting the arms down is a bit more comfortable. So breathing in and exhaling. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest and the expansion sideways as well as you breathe deeply in. And exhale. And then move your hands to your tummy. And breathing deeply in still to the rib cage and then to the belly. And then breathing out, and see if you can create almost a hollowness feeling in your tummy as you breathe out. So breathing deeply into the rib cage and then down into the belly. And then hollow out your belly as you breathe out. That's it. And let's do one more. This time I want you to blow through lips, through pursed lips. So you're activating this a little bit stronger. So breathing deeply in. And blowing out. And then return to a normal breath. So slow and steady. And we're going to gently tilt pubic bone to nose and pubic bone down towards toes. Without changing anything now, allow your breath to just be as you kind of rock your pelvis gently and slowly. Notice how when you tilt your pelvis, the middle of your back presses down into your bed. And as you tilt it away, you can arch your spine away from the mat or your bed. That's it. I promise you that's not me farting. I know I mentioned it and I was going to blame you all, but it's not me. And then bring your pelvis somewhere in the middle. And we're going to slide the shoulder blades up to the ears and then slide them away from you. Let's do one at a time. So one and then down, and then the other and down. So you're trying to keep them still low on the bed or the floor, but just kind of swapping. That's it. And then changing it slightly to either lift to the ceiling like this, so you're kind of rounding your shoulders forward, which is really anti-Pilates, or you could bring the hands up and push the hands with your shoulder blade up to the sky and retract back down. So this is protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. This is something that we can lose if we don't keep practicing. So you see people who get older, they often get things like frozen shoulder and stuff because they're not keeping things gorgeous and mobile. And I know frozen shoulder has lots of causes for it, but this is one thing that you can do to keep them nice and mobile. And then relax everything. So you could turn your palms up to the sky, and I'd like you to create a spiral with your nose. So starting really tiny and getting progressively bigger, but not so big that you're going to strain your neck. So it's just still quite small and controlled as you spiral around and then spiral back down through the spiral going smaller. Some people prefer to shut their eyes when they do this, by the way, so do try whatever makes you feel less icky. And then we're going to spiral the other way, so it'll take your brain a little bit of time to work out which way you were going in the first place, to go the other way, getting gently bigger. And then gently smaller. And coming back to the middle. So, and notice if you brought tension into your shoulders when you did that. Some of you might have noticed you did, in which case you might like to wiggle them away from your ears again. Okay, moving to the toes. So progressive muscle activation. So this isn't progressive as in getting harder. This is progressive as in progressing up the body instead. So if your legs are bent, you can, if it feels comfortable to you, lengthen the legs, but not if it makes your back feel uncomfortable. So we're going to lie here to start with, and then we're going to scrunch the toes up and then flex them backwards. Now the scrunching is the kind of the muscle activation, so I want you to breathe out as you scrunch, go and then breathe in as you kind of release. So just the toes, scrunching not to your biggest capacity, just little scrunches, and then in. So I'm doing it with my fingers so you can see what we're doing with our toes. So I'll bring them this side so you can see. But feel free, especially if you're cold, to do it with your fingers too. So scrunching and flexing, breathing out and breathing in. That's it. And especially if you're dehydrated, just don't do this too extreme, okay? Because you will end up in cramps. So now we're going to breathe out as we push and breathe in as we flex the whole foot back. So breathe out, and I'm once again doing it with my hands so you can see what I'm doing with my feet, but please feel free to do it with your hands too if you want to. Feel those muscles activating, feel the warmth of your ankles and your lower legs as you do this. And this time I'd like you to pay attention to your calf muscles as you flex. So feel them activating. I'm just going to let Katie in quickly. And then moving up the legs, so let the feet relax. And then I'd like you to squeeze the muscles in your thighs. Now this is quite hard. Please be careful of your kneecaps, okay? If you press your legs down into the mat too hard, your kneecaps might slide. So still try and keep a little bit of softness to the knees. As you try and squeeze the muscles in your thighs, you may notice your buttocks want to help too. And then relax. So it's a gentle squeeze and then relax. It's like clenching up those muscles, and you might feel them around your kneecap as well. So the option to this is to bend one leg and then lift and lower the other leg like this. If the other one doesn't feel right to you, you can do this version instead. That's it. And if this doesn't feel good to you because of your back, you could do it from 2 legs bent and lengthen. And you don't need to go that far. That's it. Katie, are you okay?
Yes, thank you. Sorry I'm late.
It's all good. I just hope you're okay. So we're doing gentle progressive muscle activation. The next one we're going to do is we're going to bend both feet, bend both knees. And then I'd like you to imagine you're drawing one foot back towards your bottom, but you're not moving it, and then you're releasing. So did you notice I didn't move at all then, as I draw the other foot back towards the bottom and then release. So it's a small activation of those hamstrings. That's it. And we're doing one at a time. And just remember with all of these, don't go to 100% because then you'll end up yelping in cramp. That's it. So nice and gentle. Gentle activation. And then moving to the buttocks. So let's breathe in to prepare. And breathe out to squeeze the buttocks. And then breathe in to relax them. Breathing out, squeezing the buttock. Was that a yelp?
No, it's a sneeze.
Oh, a sneeze, bless you! It happened while I was talking, so I couldn't quite hear what it was. And because I've been talking about yelping, then I thought it was a yelp. That's it. So gentle squeezing. It's another one where it looks like we're not doing anything at all. And then try pressing one foot down and squeezing that buttock. And that really helps you activate just one at a time. And then swap, pressing the other foot down. So one at a time, breathing out as you press, breathing in as you release, breathing out as you press, breathing in.
That's amazing.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got really bad tendinosis in those glutes, and it's really nice to do that.
That's like an unintended side effect of exercise, isn't it? Love it. Okay, then we're gonna leave our buttocks behind for a little bit, but if it's feeling good, feel free to keep going. We're going to bring our hands together and very gently breathe out as you push them together and breathe in as you let them relax. So breathing out, pushing them super gentle and breathing in to relax. And then we're going to press the hands down into the floor or the bed. So we're going to breathe out as we press down and breathe in to relax. So breathe out as you press down. Feel the shoulder blades interact a little bit as well, but remember all of this is super gentle. And breathe in. And all this breathing can be in and out through your nose preferably. I'm just doing it audibly and through my lips so you can hear me breathing to prompt you to breathe. Okay, one more like this, press. Then gently release. So moving down to the pelvic floor muscles. So we're going to breathe out very gently, pushing out as we imagine the pelvic floor muscles lifting and everything kind of going in towards the belly button. Then breathing in, everything flowing away from the belly button. So breathing out, coming in towards the center. Breathing in to release. That's it. And then we're going to clench the fists, breathing out, breathing in to open them up. Clenching, remember it's just gentle, nothing too big. And then the funniest one of all, scrunch your face up and try and breathe out through your nose as you're scrunching your face. It's interesting. So you ready? We're going to go. And then breathe in, open your mouth, but be aware of your jaw. You don't want to open your face too wide as you give me a really surprised expression. And then scrunch. And breathe in as you open. That's it, scrunch. And breathe in. It's going to be super expressive later, whichever meetings and work you have to go to later. Then open. Or if you're just going to have conversations with your cat, that's it. And one more. Okay. And then one more. Now this one's quite intense. We're going to scrunch everything up. Okay. So we're going to scrunch the face, the buttocks, the shoulders, the feet, the toes. And then take a deep breath in as you relax everything. Imagine everything melting down onto your mat or your bed. And then breathe normally. So we've moved gently up our bodies. You'll notice the one thing I didn't do was move up our spine, but by activating our tummy muscles, we naturally did it without even trying. So I just want you to relax and appreciate how you've activated all your muscles with barely any movement. Okay. And then we're going to bend the knees and gently sway the knees side to side. That's it. So nice and smooth and slow. And we're going to move into the classical part of this. And we're going to do something called the series of 5. So this is the Joseph Pilates series of 5, and it's all really intense abdominal activation. But we're doing it the Mobilates bed way. So we're going to start with the single leg stretch. So a single leg stretch, a classical version, would be chest up, reaching and pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, if anyone fancies doing it, please feel free, okay? Or you could do it like this, so you could breathe in and reach here with your chest down. So that's the first version, but I quite like this version, holding a knee in and reaching a leg up, and holding a knee in and reaching, and you're still doing single leg stretch. Can I just get you to pay attention to your tummies? Okay, so when we've got our legs up and we're lying down, sometimes it's hard to breathe, okay, because our tummies get a bit compressed and compress up into our lungs. So if you need to, create space, bring the legs away, open the legs up a bit, so you've got chance to breathe. That's it.
We'll just do it like this for now.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Joseph Pilates would smoothly move into the next one without giving you any break. But if you want to have a break, bring the knees in or gently sway them side to side, or you could circle them. That's it. And remember, make space for your tummies as well. So the next one is double leg stretch. I'll show you the classical version first, which is reaching to the ankles, breathing in, exhale and reach. Breathing in and exhale and reach. So that's the classical. The aim of the game with that one is when the legs go away, the back stays embedded into the mat, so you're using all your power in your mat. The adapted version is this one here, which I love. So it's going wee and down, and then wee and down. So it's quite active. So if you've got things like POTS and MCAS, you might like to try one or two and then take a moment to chill. Quite often this gets me quite hot if I'm doing the classical all in one go and a bit breathless. Whew.
Can you remind me the breathing in, breathing out for that?
Yeah, so here, breathing in, exhale and
out.
come back together.
Okay.
Breathing in and exhale. That's it. Moving to scissors. I'll start with the classical version first. So can I just show you something that I do with my chest? Whenever I do chest lifts, look, I'm hot already. Get the jumper off. Woo. So chest lifts, I use my legs to lift the chest because I've got a lot of back fat. So if I do this and I leave the back fat behind, it's kind of pulling me back. Whereas if I do that, I'm just kind of lifting off my back fat, which really helps. But it also helps get that lift, which then means the tummy has to work to keep me up here. So scissors is this one here. So you go reach, reach and swap, reach, reach and swap. So that's the traditional version. And you can reach with your hands wherever they reach. The gentler version is leg up and leg down and swap, leg up and leg down. So you're still getting the benefits of it. It's still a very active exercise where you're getting the abdominal work. That's it. Is anyone getting puffed?
I wish I could straighten my legs like you.
Oh,
I can't get any straighter than that.
That's fine. You know that's because you've got EDS, don't you? It's because people with EDS have really tight hamstrings. A lot of them. Yeah. I've got some members though who can actually get their legs here. And I'm like, what? Okay, take a break, everyone. So that's 3 of the 5. The next one, I tend to teach it with hands underneath bum if you're not gonna, so just be careful of your shoulders and your fingers not dislocating. And then bringing both legs in. So the adapted version, first of all, is breathing out, lowering the knees away from you a little bit while the back still remains in the mat, and then breathing in to return. So that's one version. And breathing in, or you could lift both legs up and then breathe out. Move the legs to the point that you are still able to maintain control. If you get to a point lower down where your back then starts arching, that's too far. So breathing out a little bit away from your body and then return. So you've got this version here, or you could even do it one-legged. You go and back. So whichever version you're doing, you're listening to your body and being nice to it. That's it. Veronica, you're tight as well, aren't you, in hamstrings? Yeah. And then if you were doing the series of 5 all in one go, the next one is a proper full-on killer. So I'll show you advanced version first. So it's crisscross, reaching and reaching and reaching like this. So that's the advanced version. I like to teach it like this. So lifting a shoulder and then returning, keeping the head resting in the hands, lifting a shoulder and returning, or you could go like this if you prefer, to lift and return. You're still going to use all the same muscles. And then when you've tried that out, you could try the opposite way, lifting a knee to the opposite shoulder and then return. Lifting a knee and return. That's it. Or you could try both. Reaching across and return. Reaching. That's it. That's it. So Marie, it'd be right knee to left shoulder. That's it, you got it. Well done. And then collapse in a heap and get your breath back and sway your knees side to side. Oh, so that's a bit of classical excitement for you. Katie, you're still going. I love it. Just don't beast yourself because you'll regret it for the rest of your day. You'll blame me. So we've done a lot of lying on our backs, which is fine. There's definitely a place for it. But if you wanted to do something to kind of counteract that pose, because a lot of that was flexion, we could do some extension. And there's some different ways you could do it. I'll show you one, which is lying on your tummies. And you would have your hands underneath your forehead, shoulders away from your ears, and you'd very gently lift the chest, keeping the head in line with the spine, and then lowering back down again. So that's one version of extension to counterpose all the flexion that you were just doing. So that's one version. Or some people prefer this if they're comfortable on hands and knees, so cat and cow like this. That's it. Or if you want to sit up and do it, cactus arms, chest to sky, and then release. So there's lots of different ways that you could do this, whichever version you like. And then the lying down version is breathing in, lifting the chest up, almost arching the back away from the mat, and then breathing out, releasing the arms back down. So breathing in and breathing out. So if you have one more in you, just enjoy it, whichever version you're doing. So, That made me very happy then, because everybody was doing something slightly different. That's a perfect Pilates class. Well done, everybody. And then, if you want to, you could push yourself back into prayer stretch, or you could hug your knees into your chest. Anything that feels good to you. You could sway your knees side to side. It's all about listening to what your body needs. And if you want to, you could rock and roll your way into a seated position, or you could stay exactly where you are